You can understand a YouTube video and still be unable to produce one useful phrase from it. That is the problem we are fixing today. The 30-30-30 method can be a total game changer because each replay has a different job. Understand, select, then speak with purpose and recall. Start with a quick diagnostic. Close the video and ask, what exact English can I say now? If the answer is almost nothing, comprehension was not enough. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of pausing the video every 5 seconds because constant stopping can destroy the main idea before you understand it.
When learners improve with authentic video, it's all about the details. You need the message, but you also need phrases you can retrieve, pronounce, and reuse. So do not judge a session only by how much you understood. Judge it by what useful English you can later produce.
Here is the map. First, watch for the gist. Follow the main idea with subtitles and resist stopping for every unknown word. Second, remove subtitles. Notice what your ears miss and pick out useful phrases. Third, say those chunks out loud, shadow short lines, and build your own sentences. Here, watch for the gist as one smooth thought. The order matters because meaning gives context. Context supports selection, and selection gives you specific language to practice. So the 3 jobs are not 3 copies of the same viewing. First you understand, then you mine, then you produce. Before we continue, put these in order. Collect useful phrases, understand the message, speak from memory. The best order is understand, collect, then speak, because each step prepares the next one. In the second block, your job is to pick out a phrase, not copy the transcript. Say that expression once, pick out a phrase. Then use it naturally. On the second pass, I picked out the phrase that makes a big difference. The phrase is selected because it is useful, complete, and reusable.
After you choose a chunk, say it out loud. That changes the task from recognition to production. For example, after you write a chunk, say it out loud 3 times with the original rhythm. Now make one sentence of your own using say it out loud, so the instruction becomes active language.
During the first 30 minutes, protect the gist. If one line blocks you, mark the moment and come back to it after you understand the main message. For example, finish the vlog, write one gist sentence, then revisit the difficult line. This keeps comprehension first without ignoring a useful listening gap. Another rule is to limit what you collect. If you already have several strong items, stick with 5. Close your notes and recall the 5 before adding more. The goal is not to build the biggest list. The goal is to leave enough time to explain, say, and reuse each chunk. The first 30 minutes have one clear job. Watch with subtitles for the gist. Finish with, the main point is that the speaker explains how to travel on a small budget. If you can state the message clearly, you are ready for detailed language work.
The second 30 minutes are different. Watch without subtitles and collect phrases. Now your ears, not your eyes, must do the first work. If a line is unclear, replay it briefly, notice the gap, and then check support. Do not turn subtitles back on for the whole video immediately.
The third 30 minutes are for production. Speak and repeat key chunks aloud. Reading notes silently is not enough. Use the phrases in new sentences, shadow one original line, and give a short spoken summary. This is where recognition becomes language you can actually say. Now the contrast becomes important. A video can feel easy with subtitles and suddenly feel difficult without them. That does not always mean the vocabulary is unknown. Sometimes familiar words are linked, reduced, or unstressed. The second pass reveals those listening gaps so you can work on the real cause. Listen to the instructions, speak and repeat key chunks aloud as one connected thought. Do not give every word equal weight. Keep the important words clearer and let smaller words stay lighter. Then repeat the whole phrase naturally. This prepares you for shadowing instead of slow, word-by-word reading.
Before the second pass, set a narrow goal. I'm going to watch this travel vlog and note 3 phrases about getting around a city. That prevents random note-taking. Listen without subtitles, select useful language, then speak and repeat key chunks aloud so the phrases move from the screen into your speech.
After the first viewing, test your gist with a complete frame. The main point is that the cheaper camera is better for beginners. Then transfer the pattern to another video. You might say, the main point is that the recipe works only if you keep the heat low. The structure stays stable while the content changes. Now test your selection rule. Which note is stronger, one unusual word or a phrase you can reuse? A good answer is, I picked out "worth the wait" because I can use it when I talk about restaurants. The reason matters. You are choosing future usefulness, not vocabulary that merely looks advanced. Your notes also need a future. Say, tomorrow, I'll review these 5 chunks and use a total game changer in a sentence. That sentence turns vague review into a concrete retrieval plan. Change the phrase or topic, but keep the action specific. Review, recall, and use.
Here is another reusable chunk. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of studying with long word lists. It is useful because it gives you a natural frame for a negative opinion. Keep the whole structure, especially a big fan of. Then replace only the final topic, subtitles, memorizing lists, crowded beaches, or another real preference.
For pronunciation, compare flat reading with purposeful stress. Say, it's all about the details. Stress all and details, and keep the smaller words lighter. Then shadow the complete line 3 times. The goal is not volume. It is a rhythm that helps you recognize the phrase again. Now pressure test your note-taking. A cooking clip contains 12 unfamiliar expressions in 2 minutes. Should you write all 12? No. Choose 5 that you expect to hear or use again. A smaller list protects time for explanation, retrieval, pronunciation, and original sentences instead of turning the session into transcription. Use this calm rule for the first pass. I watch for the gist first, then return to the most useful gaps. Notice the sequence. You do not ignore difficult language. You postpone detailed work until the message is clear. Apply that rule the next time one unknown word tempts you to stop.
Now say, I keep 5 to 10 reusable chunks and practice them. Keep it as one smooth thought, with the main stress on the useful content words. Then ask yourself a harder question. Can you explain when each chunk would be useful? If not, the note may not deserve space on your list.
Do not record only a single word when the useful meaning lives in a phrase. Instead of writing details, write the full chunk. It's all about the details. The full form preserves grammar and collocation. Repeat it once, then make a new sentence. For good pronunciation, it's all about the details. Subtitles have 2 different jobs across the method. In the first pass, they support meaning. In the second, remove them and test listening. A useful sentence is, I use subtitles for the gist, then test my listening without them. Apply that contrast to a fresh vlog, interview, review, or tutorial. Here is the listening check. Which action proves production? Reading the line silently, or saying it and matching the speaker? Use the stronger model. I say the line out loud and match the speaker's stress and linking. Then repeat one short sentence and notice where your timing differs from the original.
After the video, close your notes before reviewing. I retrieve the phrases again after 1 day, 3 days, and 7 days. On each review, try to produce them first, then check. Finally, speak and repeat key chunks aloud and change one detail, so each phrase works in a new context.
A total game changer means something that changes a situation in an important, practical way. Here it can describe a small study change with a large effect. For example, using closed note recall can be a total game changer for a learner who usually only rereads vocabulary. Use the complete opinion frame, not a broken fragment. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of pausing the video every 5 seconds. The phrase "a big fan of" needs an object after "of." Now replace the final activity with one real preference and keep the rest of the frame natural. Time for a quick decision. You notice 8 unfamiliar expressions in a tutorial. Which 5 should survive? Choose the ones you can imagine using in your own speaking this month. Do not choose an item only because it is rare. Pause. Make your 5-item list, then explain one choice aloud and say where you could use it.
When you shadow, it's all about the details, stress, linking, and timing. The expression is neutral and useful when small choices determine the result. Say the sentence once with clear stress on all and details. Then say it again more smoothly, without forcing every word.
Return to the first pass cue. Watch for the gist. Say the whole sentence in the first session, watch for the gist, and resist the urge to stop at every new word. Now check yourself. After 1 minute, Can you summarize the main idea in one sentence without copying vocabulary from the screen? Next, practice. Pick out a phrase. On the second pass, I picked out the phrase "that makes a big difference." Now choose a different chunk from an imagined review or vlog and explain why it deserves your notes. Your reason should mention reuse, context, or a situation where you would actually say it. If your third pass becomes silent rereading, repair it with one instruction: say it out loud. That makes the language audible, so retrieval and pronunciation are tested together. For example, close your notes and say, "That depends on your budget." Then create another sentence with the same chunk.
For stubborn listening gaps, do not replay one line forever. Make an honest attempt, mark the timestamp, and come back to it after the larger task is complete. For example, finish your gist first, then reopen the line, check the subtitle briefly, identify the missed chunk, and replay it once.
Now prove the note limit without support. If you have 5 useful chunks, stick with 5 and recall them before checking. The harder question is this: can you state the gist, explain why you chose those chunks, and use one in a new sentence? 3 30-minute sessions. Watch, mine, practice. First, understand the message. Second, select useful language. Third, speak and repeat key chunks aloud. For example, watch a travel vlog, mine 5 phrases, then use them in your spoken summary. Here is a harder choice: game changer or a total game changer. Usually, keep the fuller chunk because it preserves a natural collocation and is ready to reuse. But the deeper rule is not simply longer is better. Choose enough context to preserve meaning, grammar, and a realistic use.
For a fresh application, begin with the first job. Watch with subtitles for the gist. Do not label every unknown word. After the video, produce one sentence beginning. The main point is that. If you cannot summarize the message, stay with comprehension. Your first proof is a clear gist, not a long vocabulary list.
Then remove subtitles and collect phrases. When a fast line is unclear, mark it and check support only after a real attempt. For example, record "turn the heat down" from a cooking tutorial because it is a complete, reusable instruction. Then say it aloud. In the third block, speak and repeat key chunks aloud. Copy stress, linking, and reductions before chasing speed. Practice kind of inside a complete sentence at a comfortable pace. When the rhythm is stable, move closer to the original timing. Then repeat it again. Set the goal before replaying. I'm going to watch this travel vlog and note 3 phrases about getting around a city. Then listen without subtitles, check support after a genuine attempt, and speak and repeat key chunks aloud. A narrow goal keeps attention on reusable language.
Transfer the gist pattern to something new. Start from, the main point is that the cheaper camera is better for beginners. Now change the content, not the structure. The main point is that the hotel is convenient but expensive. The pattern gives you a comprehension check after the first viewing. Use it before note-taking.
Why is "worth the wait" stronger than the single word "wait" for many learners? One answer is, I picked out "worth the wait" because I can use it when I talk about restaurants. The chunk carries a reusable meaning and grammar. Now choose one phrase from a tech review for the same reason. What should happen after the session? Say, tomorrow, I'll review these 5 chunks and use a total game changer in a sentence. Then change one detail. The important part is retrieval before rereading. Try to produce the phrase first and only then open your notes to repair it. One final evidence check happens the next day. Close your notes and try to produce 3 chunks before you look. For each chunk you remember, say one complete sentence. Then open the notes, repair what you missed, and schedule the next reviews for day 3 and day 7. Retrieval comes before recognition every time.
Use a complete opinion frame during the final review. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of studying with long word lists. Notice what makes it reusable. The opening softens the opinion, and a big fan of introduces the activity. Now substitute one genuine study preference while keeping the structure complete. Then say the new sentence without reading.
Save this pronunciation rule. Shadow the line 3 times, stressing all and details. It's all about the details. Keep the smaller words lighter, connect the phrase smoothly, and do not rush. Accurate stress and timing come before speed. Then say the line once without looking. Save the first 2 jobs together. First, watch for the gist and write one clear summary sentence. Second, Remove subtitles and return to useful gaps, mining only 5 to 10 reusable chunks. Meaning comes before detail, and selection comes before heavy practice. That order keeps the session focused. And save the final job, speak and retrieve. Say, I keep 5 to 10 reusable chunks and practice them. Shadow short lines, build original sentences, and review with notes closed after 1 day, 3 days, and 7 days. The full routine is simple. Understand first, mine selectively, then speak and retrieve with purpose.